Welcome to the Thin Blue Line Outdoors Podcast.
This pig came battling.
Just ended up puking last night. It sucked.
Whoa! Ah! We gut it, we wrap it in tinfoil, throw it over the fire.
Welcome to the Thin Blue Line Outdoors Podcast. This is going to be episode 45. I have return guest, Kyle Orwig. This kind of impromptu podcast, and honestly, our main topic isn't the greatest. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see Kyle's arm in this video. It's an issue. So on podcast 36, Kyle is on. We talked about his last bow hunting, his last season, first time bow hunting. Talked about elk hunt and so forth and so on. We had big plans of what we're going to do this year. Honestly, my plans have been pretty much ruined. Not ruined. I mean, changed. I would say changed. Not going to say ruined, but completely changed, which is negative for the most part. But I'm going to get more time deer hunting now. And I'll talk about my plans. I'm going to let Kyle talk first. And Kyle's obviously his plans have changed this year quite a bit. So Kyle, what happened?
So basically, I ruptured the tendon in my bicep.
And how did that make you feel?
Wonderful. No, it was terrible. But so what happened was, I was literally changing tire on my truck, and got the lug nuts off.
Mm-hmm.
Got all lug nuts off. So I'm getting ready to tilt the tire. So I'm pushing on the top of it with my right hand. And then my left arm is under the tire, and I'm pulling it towards me. And I'm just tilting it. I'm not even lifting it yet, because I'm going to tilt it. And then, after you tilt it, you can grab it from side to side with two hands.
Yep.
And then you can lift it with your, put it against your body and lift it. So I'm just tilting it. So as soon as I pull with my left hand and push with my right, I literally felt and heard like a rubber band snapping. Like a loud just pop. That's literally what it sounded like. Or like a twig breaking. There's like just a pop. And I just like knew right away. I'm like, well, I just tore my bicep. Because I'm like, muscles are like rubber bands, very similar. I'm like, yep, just tore my bicep. So,
Did it hurt right away?
yeah, I mean, it wasn't like a lot of pain. It was more of because it's like as soon as it happened, I just immediately bent my arm and just kept it bent because I just like I knew it tore. I mean, I didn't. I assumed that's what happened. But so I just kept it bent and just like in a neutral position, just sitting in there bent. There wasn't pain, but then it just happened, and I knew I can't straighten it. So like I tried to just straighten it a little. I'm like, oh yep, that hurts. Don't do that. So I'm just like sitting there with my arm at a 90 degree, elbow bent 90 degrees. And I'm just sitting there stranded at my parents' house all alone. No.
I didn't know this happened at your house or
Yeah, mom and dad. So they got a Morton building where we usually go and work on our vehicles, stuff like that. So I'm just out there. My parents aren't home. So I'm just like, all right, I'm stranded. So my uncle came, picked me up, put the tire back on for me, and then I was gonna try and go to the hospital, but it was like 6:30 and like all the walk-ins are closed, and I was like, I don't really want to go to the ER. But I'm like, I'll just wait till the morning, and I'm just going to go to the walk-in clinic if it's open, because it was July 3rd. So the next day was July 4th. Everything was closed.
Yep.
So what I do, I end up going to the ER. So I go to the ER. Doctor looked at it. He thinks he's like, checks it out, grabs it with his hand and like tells me to like pull towards me, and he's like giving me some resistance, and it's not terrible there, but I'm like, yeah, it hurts right here. And he's like, all right. He's like, it's probably partially torn. Go see your regular doctor. Went and saw my regular doctor, referred me to orthopedic surgeon. Went and saw him. He's like, yeah, we gotta get an MRI. Obviously got an x-ray, bones were fine. Got the MRI. Ruptured distal bicep tendon, which is distal means down here by the elbow.
Gotcha.
Where I guess most people tear it up by the shoulder.
You tore it at the elbow.
So I tore it down at the elbow. So that's the distal bicep tendon. So that ruptured.
Gotcha. So is that completely off the bone then?
Yeah, I think so. So okay. I think my understanding of it, because I think the tendon attaches the muscle to the bone. So I think the actual muscle is intact,
Mm-hmm.
but the tendon itself just ruptured, which
Okay.
just tore.
Gotcha.
So they basically had surgery. Doctor went up there, rooted around, had to grab it, pull it back down. He's like, it was super tight. Pulled it back down, reattached it. So now I'm,
Is it a screw? You retouch with a screw, or how they do it?
you know what? He didn't tell me, and I didn't really ask.
I'm assuming screw. That's what they do with my ACL.
Okay.
So I'm assuming.
Yeah,
I'm
I didn't
I'm
think about that.
assuming, though.
It's definitely bumpy,
Yeah.
right there. It feels like it's pretty solid, and it's still pretty swollen.
Oh yeah. It's so. When did you have surgery?
It's been 3 weeks
3 weeks.
from past Thursday. So yeah, little over 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks,
Gotcha.
a couple days. But so yeah, so that put a damper on my hunting plans.
Yes.
So-
Here's the thing too, and I'll just if you guys don't know Kyle, number one, I've been working out with Kyle since high school. You've always been on the stronger side, like you're a strong guy. And then Kyle and I did jiu-jitsu together for. Did you train for 2-3 years?
Yeah,
Like,
3 or 4.
consistently, and then here.
Yeah,
now
but 2
spotting
years
on,
consistently for
Yeah,
sure.
and I mean we attacked elbow joints, and
Yeah, I've never had a problem
Yeah,
with
I've never had an issue. Yeah, a couple black eyes, but
yeah, but nothing wrong with any of my
Yeah.
joints.
So that was when you told me. I'm like, what?
No, it was crazy. And like the only time I've ever had a problem with it would have been 5 years ago, my college track season. I heard it for a little bit, but I don't know if that had. I doubt that had any effect. But that's literally the only time I've ever done anything to it at all. So I was like, it's pretty. I was surprised, obviously, because I've been lifting, doing regular curls with dumbbells just fine for years now. Not a problem, and just snapped. So you never know when it's going to happen.
Yep.
And it's probably just because I'm getting older, 29 now.
Yep.
And that's
Big
like
3 O's coming.
Yep. So that's probably what it is. But yeah.
So anyway, on podcast 36, you had talked about your plans were going to go elk hunting by yourself, and those had already went out the window before this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I know you were super excited for archery season, and you're really trying to get your first deer with a bow. Obviously, you're not going to get one with a bow this year.
No. Nope.
Cyrus, but he's not out of the we're gonna get him hunting. We're still gonna get him in the stand one way or another. So you're now going to probably be hunting with a crossbow.
Yeah. And luckily in Illinois, it's been 2 or 3 years now.
I think maybe even longer.
Maybe
like
longer,
5-ish,
where
but-
you're allowed to use a crossbow just regularly. Which I mean, I'd be disabled anyway. But
Yeah.
so yeah, so I don't have one, but luckily you do,
I do.
and you very generously are gonna let me borrow it.
Which he came over today to test it. Well, it's still at my buddy's house, Nate, who has been on the podcast before from last year. So you can see how much I've used the crossbow and
Yeah.
keep track of it. So I got to get it back, which won't be an issue because he went and got his own crossbow anyway. So I'll get the crossbow back, and we'll get Kyle.
Yeah,
hunting with
I'm
it.
still super bummed though, because I was pretty, last year was my first year bow hunting, and I just got my first bow and everything, and I had a great time and fell in love with it, and super excited for this season. And I'm just like, when that happened, I'm like, well, I mean, that was my first thought. And coincidentally, I've been coaching high school football for 7 years, and this is I'm done. So this is my first fall. So even though last year it was my first season, I didn't really get out until maybe this last week of October. Might have been. I tried to go on a few weekends, but I just super busy with high school football, and so this, it was my first year. I wasn't coaching. I'm like, I'm gonna have so much time to hunt. It's gonna be great, and unfortunately, that happened.
Little did you know.
Little did I know. But try to look at the positive I'm gonna look out of this is I'm can't work right now, so I'm off of work. So I'm gonna have a bunch of free time. So that's why I really wanted to try and I gotta do something, because I'm like I'll be off for probably almost all of October. So I'm like, it'd be perfect for hunting.
Yeah, 100%.
So-
100%. Also, good news is I got me a cameraman.
Yeah, and that too.
So
I'm plenty of free time.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that. Have you out hunting with me? So it's not all negative. We got some positive.
Yeah,
there.
so-
Now, you better have some people on standby when you do shoot one this year.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, we'll figure that.
Getting it out of the woods.
Yeah, we'll figure that out once it
Yeah.
happens. You got enough people you can call.
Yeah,
between
yeah,
Your brothers,
figure it out.
your uncle, dad, me, Cody. Like, you got enough people. Like, somebody's going to be able to help you.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we'll cross that bridge. We'll cross that bridge. So, my plans for this year was, first it was antelope hunt. And that got scratched, which, now knowing what I know now, it would have probably got scratched anyway. Oh, probably. I was supposed to go antelope hunting rifle with in Wyoming was the plan, with my dad and brother, October 1st-ish weekend. My brother Colton couldn't go anymore. Work stuff going on, just couldn't get it off. So instead of doing that, Dad's killed 2 antelope. I've killed 1. We're like, let's save that for another hunt when he can go. And Dad's like, well, I'm going duck hunting with my friends. They've been doing it, and this will be the 3rd year doing it. You want to go? I'm like, yeah, sure. And they go out to the Dakotas, and they do really good duck hunting. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll do that. Well, if you've been paying attention to any law enforcement around the country, you'll know, for the most part, is we have a nationwide shortage of cops. Nobody wants to be cops nowadays, which I don't blame people. It is what it is. It's today's climate. Where the agency I work for, we are short people. And we are so short people, number one, we just need to hire more people. We got some injuries and stuff like that. And then we got some positive things going on, too. We got a guy getting a canine and stuff like that. But anyway, I cannot take time off right now during this, during the time they were going duck hunting. If I pushed the envelope, like say it was the antelope hunt, or say I was going elk hunting during that time or something, I had a whole bunch of money into it, I could go if I pushed the envelope.
Yeah.
But right now I have no money into it. I don't have any time off that I've taken yet for that. I'm fine. It's no big deal. So
Is that still early October when he's going?
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. About October, it was around my birthday. So my birthday's October 12th. I was going to be gone for my birthday on this hunt. So I'm not doing that anymore. So that sucks. So, I had 2 different hunts planned. Both got changed. But here's the good thing is I now have more time off, and vacation time that I was going to use is no longer being used.
Yeah.
So it's probably going to be unleashed in late October, November.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, who's Cody?
He
works here?
Gone for a month.
No, so it's not all bad. I plan on spending a lot of time in the deer woods. I know, obviously, I'm excited to have Kyle come with me. I'm hoping we can obviously get some deer on film getting shot. I'm hoping maybe switch it around, film you too.
That'd be cool. Now, logistically, getting up and, what is your hunt plans? Am I be easy for me to get up where you're...
So that'll... Before you had that, I was thinking get you in you can hunt every stand that I'm in, even if I don't have it set up as a double, because you can be in my saddle. Mm-hmm. I don't think you can do that now. It'd be difficult. Maybe not impossible, but it would be difficult.
Yeah, we'll have to look at it.
Mm-hmm. Now, I have some stands. For example, a stand that my buddy and I worked on at a farm in Fulton County. It's a 2-man stand. It's good shooting towards the field and shooting towards into the woods. I put a cameraman stand, and the reason I'm doing quotations, if you're watching this, is I might, if I'm hunting in the stand by myself, I actually might hunt the cameraman stand more than hunt the other. And the reason I did this is it's a really good spot. The cameraman stand, you can shoot the woods, not as well as the ladder stand, but you still can shoot the woods, but you can shoot the field. Where the ladder stand is facing into the woods, you cannot shoot the field. But you can shoot the woods perfectly. That's why, when I put that ladder stand up first, it was like, what do I do?
And by shoot, you mean film?
Well, shoot or film.
Oh, shoot or film.
Shoot
okay.
Or film.
Both, okay.
So it might be a situation where I go, hey, Kyle, we're going to hunt this. I'm going to hunt. So what you do is you climb up the ladder stand and you step up into the hang-on stand, the cameraman stand.
Okay.
So it might be a situation where, Kyle, you and I are going to hunt this. I'm going to sit in the hang-on. You just got to go up the ladder stand.
Gotcha.
And you're going to bring your crossbow. I'm going to bring my bow, or say maybe one of us have killed already, you or I. Only one of us bring it, but like, hey, I'll shoot the field.
Mm-hmm.
You shoot the inside of the area. And,
Okay.
And then like I'll have a GoPro on one of us, GoPro on the other, and then we'll just, if we have time, we'll pass the camera to each other. So like, oh, Kyle, this is going to be your shot. I got you.
Right.
Or, oh, nope, this is going to be Cody's shot. Kyle, you record with the big camera. But even if, say, stuff's happening too fast, you'll have a GoPro at least to film. So I have a couple setups like that. I will have, they're not up yet, slacking on that. I will have a couple ground blinds here at the farm and the other farm that I hunt. So obviously ground blinds, no issue there.
The good thing is like being a bicep injury, like I can't obviously like use the bicep muscle for anything, but I could use the rest of use my shoulder muscles, my back muscles, and my tricep muscles, and this brace actually locks well. So like basically I could climb ladders easy. I could, I could hold stuff easy. My hand works just fine like that. I'm able to, so like basically it's just like don't put anything heavy in my left hand, and that's kind of the only restriction. Yeah. And I can't straighten it all the way.
I do think we might have. I have a couple on the other farm at the stands are. Actually, I got a couple here too. They're the steps that attach to the tree. I think you might have a hard time with those because they're right against the tree.
Yeah.
I think you kind of need all four limbs.
Yeah, that might be.
I think that would be, but I think regular ladder stands, no problem. And obviously, I got box stands here too. That wouldn't be an issue. So I definitely think we can get you doing that. And then if we go to that public area that we're not going to disclose, just hunt on the ground.
Yeah, that's my plan because that's I plan on hunting my parents' farm again and then going over to public land area and just with that, with my arm, just basically spotter stock or sit a tree bottom, lean up against a tree, and then wait there. And I also got remember turkey season, I got this leafy mesh. I might be able to just make like a ground blind, 'cause that don't weigh nothing. I throw that in a backpack, no problem, and I could make a pretty easy ground blind. So I think I definitely have pretty good options for public land.
Yeah. People have been killing deer from the ground forever.
Yeah.
So I definitely think you can still get deer. And here's one thing good about a crossbow compared to a bow: less movement.
That's true.
So that's one thing where you get to think of now, where you literally almost like a turkey, everything's set up.
Yeah.
You're locked in, and you can just get that scope on it. Then I don't remember how far you felt comfortable shooting with your bow.
50 was my max.
Okay, you can with my crossbow that you'll be using, I know where it hits at 50. I don't know if I'd recommend that, just because my crossbow, I have a Carbon Express. I don't remember the model. It's on the cheaper end. I got a still on it. That's why I bought it. I know where it shoots at 50, but I think I've always said I'll shoot it at 40 and in because it starts dropping a lot at 50 yards. I think it's just heavier bolt. That's why. Don't get me wrong, I can lob them in there.
Yeah.
But it drops a lot. Where like my dad's got a Raven.
Have you ever shot it from elevated at all yet and see how that plays into? Because I'm assuming all your practice have been on the ground.
Straight level, no.
I wonder what it'd be like.
The only person that's ever shot it elevated was my buddy Josh, and he shot over a deer's back, and then he thought it was off at 20 yards, and then we tested it; it was dead on at 20 yards.
So you saved that.
Yeah.
Or got his yardage just mixed up.
Correct.
But
so so Josh, don't blame my equipment. It's not wrong. I've not shot that at elevated, so that could change some things, for sure.
Yeah, I just, being different from a bow, I didn't know how much drop it has with elevation and all that different, but yeah, I'll have to definitely test it out once we get her and see how it performs.
I'm excited for deer season though, man. I'm ready to go. I think it'll be fun. One thing was thinking about the public land, if I go just to film you, like I could still sit in a tree saddle and almost have a cool approach where I'm above you.
Oh yeah,
and looking down. Like it'd be something I don't think I've seen really in the
it'd be different.
Show something different and see, and I might be able to see a lot farther.
Oh
right?
yeah,
Could be like,
you definitely
hey, you got
be
there's
my spotter.
yeah, like, hey, there's a deer 60 yards coming. You know.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah, that'd be cool.
So something a little different. Yeah. If anything else you want to talk about or anything like that?
Nothing I think of.
Yeah. So Kyle and I we were talking before we got on the podcast about possible different hunting plans for next year. The fellowship will probably be getting back together. Jared, Austin, and I and Kyle. Probably, we're up to no good as usual. So hopefully my wife doesn't listen to this. But yeah, I'm excited. Like I said, this is an impromptu podcast. We just Kyle's over. I'm like, well, might as well jump on.
Yeah.
Talk about what's changed since podcast 36. So yeah. Anyway, guys, I appreciate all the support. I'm gonna keep the podcast. We've been able to come out weekly since I started in September 1st. We're gonna keep going. I'm going to try to do a podcast a week all the way through deer season. Maybe after New Year's hit, maybe we'll do like once every 2 weeks or something like that. But as of right now, I plan on doing one every week. Keep producing that content. The channel continues to grow. We are knocking on 500 subscribers door on YouTube, which is big. We get closer and closer to that 1,000 mark. Instagram's still starting to grow finally, which Instagram's kind of dead. A lot of people complain about the growth right now on Instagram. It's starting to get more and more. So we'll keep doing that. TikTok is still growing for me. I did get a account warning because of graphic content.
Oh, no.
So I have to be a little careful now. They'll delete my whole account, which if that happens, we'll just start Thin Blue Line Outdoors TikTok 2.0.
Yeah, but they don't have any problems with like cooking stuff on there though that involves
cooking stuff, or if you got boobs and a butt,
Yeah.
But whatever, it is what it is. I guess. Yeah. Podcasts are still well over. We're over 1,000 listeners, getting closer to 2,000. So we'll keep doing that. I just appreciate all the support, guys. I do have some hats, what Kyle and I are actually wearing right now. If you're watching YouTube, I have limited supply. I am trying to get better with my merch. The good thing is, when I do have merch, I sell out of it. So I need to get a little bit better while keeping my stock up. I will try to do better. I know I'm going to try to get hats in, hoodies in again, and then eventually start changing up some colors. I know I've had camo as a request, so I'm looking into that, and we'll keep going from that. But thanks, guys. Appreciate all the support. Like, subscribe, follow, and be safe out there.